With changing nature of jobs, skill requirements from the industry are also changing. So there is an overpowering need for skilled workforce in the country today. And here, making skilling aspirational becomes all the more important, and NSN stands for this. Today, one of the ways in which we can make skilling aspirational is by taking these skills to young children and college going students. So, hello everyone, I'm Sahitya, and today we will be interacting with Dr. Madhuri Dubey, founder of National Skills Network, on the topic Are skills only for dropouts or low achievers? Let us hear from her.
Hi Sahitya, thank you so much. And I simply love the topic or the question you raised because this is a question which was asked to me several years ago when I founded NSN. And I think since then, similar questions are being asked to us on our website. People comment, people ask me in meetings, in forums, and many places. Why is it that everything to do with skills is usually attached to low achievers, people who come from underprivileged sections, or people who have dropped out of various educational programs, whom we call as dropouts? Uh, I don't think you would agree with this that skills are meant for dropouts, right? None
Yes.
of us would agree
Yeah.
with that. But somehow, during the last 10 to 15 years, ever since skill development has become one of the important priority sectors in India, we have seen it getting associated with using skills to help people who have dropped out of the system to become employable, giving skill-based training to people who come from underprivileged sections
Mhm.
and similar cases. But you and I know that skilling cannot be limited to either few trades or to few people,
Yeah.
right? How can you limit something? It's an opportunity which everybody should get.
Yeah.
So I feel there are few issues that need to be addressed, and also let me recollect when was it that we started publishing about this. I think it should have been, I think, right in the beginning. So I can even go ahead and show you few articles and interviews and so on that we
Yeah.
published on NSN. Let me start with that. Yeah, so I think I'll show you one which was published last year, which has to do with vocational education system. Is it an alternative to academic learning? So this is a perspective. What I'm trying to show is that the topic which you raised about is skilling only for dropouts has been interpreted in many ways by many people on NSN, and we have got quite a few articles and people speaking on this topic. So you see here, there is a perspective which was shared by, I think it was Mr. Manish Kothari from Rhino Machines who was talking about this, how it can become an alternative to academic learning. So this is taking a position in terms of academic versus skilling. And then there is another article which we had published, which was written by Rajesh AR, who's the CEO of LaborNet. And this is one of the insightful articles, which I should say had got a lot of readership as well. He talks about how vocational education and training can introduce people to the students to the world of work. And he goes on to give examples about how this opens up occupations, trades, and many other things. So you see, there are few examples like this, and also we have, I think, another article. Let me also show you. This is taking another angle to this. This was written by me in 2017, early on. I think when I started NSN, it was just about a year and a half old. And I think this article got maximum views. Perhaps it's crossed 30,000 views or so. And this was on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti, where I tried to connect vocational education and skill development with crafts, because he makes a very strong a case for craft-centric education. So you see now the field is so vast, right?
Yeah, I think it still holds good. Like you have written it in 2017, but 3 years later, we are still talking about it and we are still trying to bring awareness to such courses. I think it's really great that you thought of such ideas much before everyone else started speaking about it. So, Madhuri, I would also like to know what are the steps in which we take vocational education to schools? Like, how do we create this awareness among young children that skills are important? Anyone can learn the skills.
Yes, again, Sahitya, I think that's another very pertinent point. As you know from NSN, for us, it is not just the business of talking skilling, but doing it also. So, in whatever we do, we have a very practical angle when we speak to people also. As you may be aware, I think we have spoken to hundreds and thousands of people till now in various ways, engaged with them in many ways, and having published about 500 plus interviews in the form of skill talks and skill stories. One thing which stands out, and I think this will answer your question in a way, is this. Yeah, so Sahitya, you were talking about making skills aspirational also. So I think one of the unique things that we had done, in 2019 was this contest we did for school children and also partly to college students. It was open to both. And you can see here it was called Vocation in Vacation contest. And we were really apprehensive. Okay, when we float such a contest, will there be any results, or who will be, participating? And since we were not able to directly connect with schools, we connected with few organizations and various other partners. And we said, okay, let's try it out. But then, we were simply overwhelmed to see the results. There were so many students participating in this. The idea was to sensitize students about the need for skills and also dignity of work and dignity of labor. So we had used a few ways of doing it, and also we wanted them to use their skills. So they had to either do a painting or do a video. So I would request our viewers to come to this page and watch it. This is there on our newsletters. So here is what it is called, Vocation in Vacation. Please take a look. You might get an idea about the effort which has gone into this contest and how wonderful the response was. Yeah. So this is, I think, quite, it's an outstanding thing for NSN and our efforts in promoting skills and, strengthening the advocacy and things like that.
Yeah, I think, and the vacation contest was, the videos from the contest are some of the most watched videos on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So I think our viewers can also go back and see what kind of videos the students have done, and I think the work is tremendous.
Yeah.
We got response from all over India, Kerala, from Northeast, and all the places. So Madhuri, I would also like to know. Um like we have been talking about taking action points. How can schools come forward and whether in terms of curriculum or bringing new subjects or industry visits for college students. So what are the other points, or would you like to elaborate on the same, like how can we go ahead in this vocationalization of school?
Yeah, so now I would like to connect from where we started about answering the question, is skilling only for dropouts and underprivileged? Yes, we both agreed, and I'm sure all our viewers also will agree that skills are for everyone. It cannot be, we cannot discriminate or say things that this is only for a section of students. It's for everyone. It is also for high achievers, wonderfully performing students, and youth and others. So a few things that can be done and a few things that are being done is something I would like to talk about now. So there was this event which we had participated in quite recently, I think it was in February, where this conference was organized from PSS CIVE Bhopal in collaboration with UNESCO, Univoc and other partners. And I think, remember Sahitya, we both had attended this, and how wonderful it was to not only listen to all the presenters, the enthusiasm in the participants, but just take a look at the topics that were discussed there. Okay, a whole wide range of topics were discussed there, and this is available on our website for anybody who wants to refer to the proceedings of this conference. So I think this is one of the important efforts that is being taken at present by national level organizations in India to create awareness that skills have to start from school level. Skills have to be imparted to young children, and also to people who would want to get into work, who would want to get employed, who are job seekers. So this is one of the events which I remember and I thought I should share. And also there are a whole lot of other things in terms of action items. So I hope Sahitya, you agree that this was one of the best conferences which really got into details of various aspects of skilling at the school level.
Yeah, and I think not just Indian perspective, we could get to hear perspectives from representatives of different countries. I think that was also a great thing about the conference.
Right, right, right. Now coming to the other part which you were asking me about, what can be done. So before I speak about what can be done, I would still like to share a few points about the observations that we have gathered over the last 5 years, because this is also an opportunity for us to tell people, look, over the last 5 years, lots of things have changed in the skilling and vocational system in India. And one look at our website, you will get to see how many stories, how many articles have been featured here. And mostly our newsletter archives will be able to give you various insights into this domain. But alongside this, I would also like to emphasize on a few, I would say, few action points or few important points that have to be considered, and I would like to list 5 of them. I think these would make it really meaningful and valuable for us to take the discussion further. As we all know, this is a series called NSN Connect, which we have just launched, and through this series, we would like to initiate dialogues, discussions, and also invite people to participate in our discussions so that we come to meaningful conclusions and action points. So, and now I'm going back to the initial question which you asked, Sahitya, about are skills only for dropouts and low achievers? Definitely not. But along with that, I think we need to have some clarity about what can guide us to go ahead in this direction. And also, let's remember, when we are talking about skills, there is a huge challenge about changing mindsets of people towards skilling, because there are certain preconceived notions about skill-based education and training. In fact, the whole idea about skills being for dropouts itself has a lot of preconceived elements attached to it. So I would say one of the important points which all of us will have to consider and think of acting upon is, just like we have right to education, we need right to skilling. I think this brings in a lot of, equal opportunity kind of thing, and also help people understand that when we say skill-based education or training, it is not just for people who are achieving less marks or not being able to do in the academic stream and things like that. So this is one important point. There is a right to acquire skills. And second important point is, I feel we need a lot of strong advocacy measures to reach to the parents. The outreach to the parents has to be really done in many innovative ways, because I think mostly in India, we have parents playing a very important role in the life of their children. And also not only till they are young adults, but then also after they get into jobs, because for them it matters what their son or daughter is earning and how well settled they are and things like that. So I think these kind of advocacy measures are also needed. And another important point, I feel, for me, this third point is very strong, and I can relate to it so much that, it's my personal story also, which I keep telling on many occasions. There are a lot of students in India for whom there is a need to work after schooling. When I say schooling, let's say the 12th standard, higher secondary education and all that. Not every student needs to go into higher education as we have defined it. And there is no need to look down upon students who have not done that in the, in the traditional way. What if the students are given an opportunity to branch out at a stage where they feel, yes, there is a need for me to work after my 12th standard, and please show me options how I can work or where I can get that work. Today, this is definitely lacking. Whether you have the need to work or not, you are just made to go till that graduation or anything, without even thinking if there are other possibilities. So I think these options have to be created, because not, and also we all agree, I'm sure you also agree, that not all students are academically oriented. There must be people in your family, and I have people in my family also, who show a lot of interest in things which are not academic. Perfectly fine. So, this is another important point. And the next one is, there is this idea that skills means trades which are done with hand, manual work. And manual work is looked down upon. I mean, what are we talking? In what way? Age are we? This is something, again, from NSN. I think I've had to face this so many times, and I felt, why are we doing this? Why are we discriminating people? In so many seminars and conferences, also, I hear some people saying, manual work, which doesn't need your brain or your intellect or your cognitive abilities. No, I think even if somebody is working with hands and simply arranging bricks in one layer, I think he is using his brain. Otherwise, how would the bricks form in one layer, right? So even for such things, there is the hand-mind coordination is needed. So there is no need for us to discriminate skills, as in the trade-based skills are of a lower level, or some leadership skills are at a higher level, life skills are at this level, some skills are at that level. No, I think we all need all kinds of skills for doing any work that we do. Now, last and most important point I would like to share here is skilling should be by choice and not by force. Now, when you look at the skilling programs that are happening around us, there is a lot of, first of all, there is this thing attached to it that, skilling is for, low achievers or dropouts or underprivileged. I think we should just remove these words from our jargon, our vocabulary. This is definitely not creating a positive feel around it, right? The moment you remove these 3 or 4 words, I think the narrative and the story itself will take a different angle altogether. So I think it should be by choice, not by force, which means uh, young people should be given a lot of counseling to understand what is it that I would want to do. If you just force people, mobilize them just because some numbers have to be met or some courses are being offered, I don't think that's going to be a very sustainable long-term solution. So I feel there has to be a lot of counseling, telling the young people, hey, look, this is what you might want to do. And by the way, as we are aware, there is a lot of talk about what are youth aspirations in the country. And just now we had the World Youth Skills Day being organized by several people across the world. So youth aspirations play a very important role. So if people are not able to understand what they want, and if we are just telling them, hey, look, this might be good for you, I'm not sure if that is going to help us in the long run. In fact, that might not help us to create that positive feel about skilling itself. So I think this is also another very important point. So And so I think, Sahitya, by organizing this talk today, you really helped me also to come out with a few points that I have been thinking of sharing with a larger audience. And thank you so much. I would also like to thank people who have watched us, and I would request them to visit our social media channels, and also watch our video, and also keep coming back to our YouTube channel, maybe, because we are planning to publish more and more sessions like this. And also please share your story and your experience with the skilling initiatives that you are engaged in.
Yeah. So, Madhuri, thank you for all the points that you shared. Like, I think all the points are very relevant. And I think by this and taking skills to the school children and college students, I think we can build a competent and confident a lot of people for our country and for the world, perhaps. So thank you so much for being part of our first episode. I think we'll talk about more relevant topics in our coming episodes. So thank you all for watching this episode.
Thank you.